Guardiola is preparing 150 million euros for a Bayer Leverkusen star. Who's going to be the biggest signing of the summer? Neymar has finally revealed which club he'll join next. Barcelona are hatching a clever plan for Diaz from Liverpool, and Sané is heading back to the Premier League. New club almost confirmed. Guys, don't let me cry into my pillow again. Hit those precious 400 likes. They say a like is a little bit of magic. And here, we've got the freshest, hottest, and sometimes completely ridiculous transfer rumours. Diaz to Barcelona. Now that's the latest transfer market soap opera. Picture this: Barça, flag in one hand, calculator in the other, are once again setting their sights on the Premier League, hunting for fresh firepower up front. And not just anyone, they want Diaz from Liverpool. Word is, Barcelona are ready to pool together every last cent because the Colombian will cost them 80 million euros. And let's be honest, Barca's ambitions usually outweigh their actual bank balance. Speaking of money, while Barca are racking their brains for ways to scrape together that extra cash, tons of regular viewers watch these videos and still keep that precious like on lockdown. Is it really harder to smash the like button than it is for Barca to find 80 million euros for Diaz? Prove me wrong. Hit the like if you can pull it off. Let's be real. Diaz is electric, a guy who can light it up on either wing. He's versatile, a goal threat, a real engine. Say goodbye to boring attack on Barca's problem list. But here's the real issue. Does Barcelona actually have the funds for a player like this? Sure, they want to balance things out between Yamal and Rafinha, but when it comes to balancing the books, that's not really Barca's strong suit lately. It's always the same. Build the dream first, then start counting how much they're missing for happiness. For Diaz, a move to Camp Nou is basically a ticket to football heaven. Who wouldn't want to pull on those Blaugrana colours when a club with that kind of history comes calling? But here's the catch. He's under contract with Liverpool until 2027, and the Reds aren't exactly in the mood for a summer fire sale. They're already losing key players. Just look at what's happening with Alexander-Arnold. So why would they let Diaz go now? Now Deco, Barca's sporting director, a guy who loves quiet moves and surprises, has admitted publicly, "We're really lacking in dribbling and vertical runs." Fair point. When you've got Yamal and Rafinha, you still need some insurance and a bit of fresh energy. That's why they want Diaz, to give Hansi Flick a weapon for any formation: experience, aggression, explosive play. All the stuff this current Barca side is missing. But we all know, an 80 million euro transfer isn't exactly a trip to the supermarket. Barcelona's financial headaches have become a meme at this point. The club is fighting with La Liga's infamous 1-to-1 spending rule just to make any moves on the market, and now they need a giant lump sum for Diaz. You can bet someone in the club's office isn't sleeping at night trying to figure this out. So what's the bottom line? For Liverpool, Diaz has become irreplaceable. Selling him now, when they're building for a new season and chasing trophies, would basically be admitting they've lost their ambition. No way Reds fans would be happy with that. For Barca, it's the dream scenario. But right now, it looks more like a puzzle than a plan. Diaz is keeping quiet. He's not in a rush to sign a new deal, which is making some people nervous, while others think he's genuinely been dazzled by the idea of joining Barcelona. The next few weeks will be filled with rumours, inside scoops, and all the classic "imagine Diaz lining up with Yamal and Rafinha" talk. What do you think? Can Barcelona actually pull this off, or will they be left empty-handed and dreaming of another blockbuster signing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. It looks like the door to Camp Nou hasn't just closed for Neymar. It's been slammed so hard, the echo reached all the way to Brazil. The Barcelona chapter is officially over. Forget Rafinha campaigning to bring his buddy back to Barca. That's just pure fan fiction for those nostalgic for the old MSN days. Even Neymar himself isn't kidding himself anymore. He knows full well that today's Barcelona wouldn't benefit from his return. In fact, he'd probably just get in the way. And let's be honest, those injuries have taken their toll. The old tricks out on the wing aren't working, and keeping up with La Liga's pace in his current shape. Yeah, maybe on PlayStation. The cherry on top? Deco's veto. Barca's sporting director took one look at the potential comeback and basically said, "Even for free, thanks, but no thanks." And his reasons are absolutely rock solid. First, Neymar's fitness is, let's put it kindly, nowhere near Barca level. Less kindly? He's let himself go. Imagine Gavi or Lamine Yamal watching that star at training. What are they supposed to think? Second, Neymar's whole party boy image, his glamorous lifestyle, his endless nights out, that's not the example Barca wants for its young talents. This is a club built on discipline and professionalism, not Instagram luxury. So, the Catalan chapter is closed. Officially, Neymar himself has finally accepted reality, and rumor has it he's agreed to stay at Santos, at least until next summer. What else can he do? He's got to stay in shape somehow before the World Cup in the US. But staying in shape and giving your all for your boyhood club are two very different things, especially judging by his new contract. Let's talk numbers. 3 million euros a month, yes, a month, for a salary that's more suited to FIFA Ultimate Team than the Brazilian League. And it gets crazier. 75% of all merch revenue from Neymar branded gear goes straight to the man himself, not to Santos. Every shirt, scarf or cap sold is basically Neymar's piggy bank, not the club's. Then there are the perks. VIP boxes at the stadium, luxury travel, and 5-star hotels for Neymar and his entire entourage, all on the club's tab. In the end, one player is soaking up almost a quarter of the entire Santos budget, living the high life, right? Of course, the transfer made headlines. The club's media exposure exploded, sponsors started lining up, and they even broke a few partnership records. But here's the kicker. Sponsorships cover less than half of Neymar's annual salary. And the merch? €500,000 a month sounds impressive until you realize that 375,000 euros of that immediately goes to Neymar himself. So here's the real question. Who's getting played here? Is Santos just sacrificing itself for a few nice headlines while the player cashes in like a superstar yet barely makes a difference on the pitch? If what UOL reports is true, either Santos has some secret stash under the mattress, or this is a classic case of the deal of the century for one man, and a financial disaster for everyone else. What do you think? Did Santos get played, or is this just the price you pay to bring back a superstar, even if it's only for the cameras? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Looks like Leroy Sané has decided to play a dangerous game with Bayern. Something like, let me show you who's really the boss here. The German star seems fed up with the club's endless contract offers, none of which he's willing to accept, and things have taken a spicy turn. Why? Because the legendary super agent Pini Zahavi has just appeared on the horizon. And we all know when Zahavi gets involved, transfer chaos usually follows. You know the saying, behind every great footballer, there's a woman wanting to go back to London, or something like that. Well, in Sané's case, his partner Candice Brooke apparently isn't loving life in Munich and is hinting it's time to head back to good old England. And Zahavi? He's already working the phones in London. Can you smell the transfer rumours heating up? Bayern aren't messing around either. They've drawn a hard line. 10 million euros plus 5 million euros in bonuses, Leroy, and that's it. No improved terms, no new perks. Clearly, the club thinks Sané should be grateful as it is, but he's clearly not on the same page. Now it's a game of chicken. Who's going to blink first? Sané or the Bayern bosses? And I've got a feeling neither side will back down. If Sané really leaves for free, it would be a huge disaster for Bayern. Letting a player like that go for nothing is like losing the last pint at Oktoberfest. On the flip side, Sané can already pick pretty much any Premier League club he wants. Rumor has it, he's been offered to at least 5 clubs: Arsenal, Chelsea, United, Tottenham, and Newcastle. Chelsea? Probably out of the running. They've got enough financial fair play headaches as it is. But Arsenal and Liverpool? Those moves actually sound realistic. Arsenal are already doing their homework, and honestly, it could be the perfect place for Sané to relaunch his career. But just imagine for a second, Sané at United. The guy who once starred for City suddenly joins their biggest rivals. That would be explosive. City fans would never forgive that. But if not London or Manchester, there's always the fresh, ambitious, and seriously loaded option: Newcastle United. The Magpies are acting like kids with an unlimited credit card on the transfer market right now. And why not? Sané could easily become their main star, making TikToks while his partner enjoys life in England. So, as the transfer window gets ready to open, keep your eyes on this one. Who's going to land Leroy Sané? That's the big question in the weeks ahead. So, who would you pick? Arsenal, United, or maybe the wild card, Newcastle? Let me know in the comments. And here it is, the main transfer saga of the summer. Where will Kevin De Bruyne go next? The man who's carried City's midfield for so many years now finds himself at a crossroads. And, by the looks of it, he's about to turn this into a real, guess where I'm heading? Drama. When the 33-year-old was asked if he plans to stay in England, he didn't even flinch. He just smirked and said, "Maybe," flashing that classic Belgian grin. So now, is he throwing shade at City or just giving a cheeky wink to their rivals? The juiciest rumours, all about Liverpool. Picture it, Salah openly inviting De Bruyne to Anfield while the local insiders rush to calm the hype, saying it's just talk and speculation. But Kevin's adding fuel to the fire. He's admitted he's already in talks with several clubs and hasn't made up his mind yet. Who knows, maybe we'll actually see him in a red shirt. Or is this just some next-level trolling to keep the fans guessing? Meanwhile, Napoli are calling from Italy. They'd love for De Bruyne to lift their midfield to a new level. And let's not forget the ever-present lure of the USA, where MLS clubs are ready to roll out the red carpet and back up the truck with bags of cash. So here's the big question. Will he go for the American all-inclusive, take on a new challenge in Serie A, or stick it out in the most competitive league in the world? Word from City is that they've all but told him, "Thanks for everything, but you're free to go." No hard feelings, he's 33, there have been injuries, and the club needs a reboot. De Bruyne himself has admitted that family is a priority now. He's no kid anymore and has to think about his wife and kids. But at the same time, he's not rushing to say his Premier League days are over for good. So we're left to guess. Will we see Kevin lighting it up for Napoli, teaming up with Emery at Villa, or maybe even linking up with Salah at Liverpool? Or is it all heading towards a classic retirement adventure in MLS? Honestly, I want to believe the maestro still has one last great chapter in European football. What do you think? Which league will Kevin set on fire in the final stage of his career? Madrid's brewing up another sad saga. This time it's called Lunin and the Eternal Bench. The Ukrainian keeper feels like part of the family, promising and talented, but always stuck as number 2. Imagine this. He just set the record for most assists by a Real Madrid goalkeeper in the past 30 years. But honestly, that's like having the best cupcakes in the school cafeteria. Fun stat, but what's the point if you're never allowed at the big table? Now Lunin's at a crossroads. On one hand, he's signed until 2030 and the club claims he's a strategic asset. Sounds great on paper, but what kind of asset are you if the best you can hope for is the Copa del Rey, while the undisputed number 1 is Courtois, the immovable wall? You can see why Andriy is thinking about moving on. And honestly, I don't blame him. He's young, ambitious, and clearly doesn't want to be the eternal backup who only gets to play when Thibaut has a cold or worse. The main contenders for his signature, Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, both Turkish giants, already have Jorge Mendes working overtime on their behalf. And let's be honest, he's probably the biggest earner in all this, just for picking up the phone. But seriously, these Turkish clubs are ready to offer Lunin the number 1 shirt, not just a weekend keeper gig. Fenerbahce are especially keen, already setting up meetings. Galatasaray are testing the waters, but they're in the mix too. So what should Real do? Keep Lunin glued to the bench and risk losing a valuable asset, or let him go and say goodbye to the perfect backup? That's the Madrid dilemma. Both the club and the players' camp know it's a tricky spot. A new coach might shake things up, but let's be real, no one's sending Courtois to the bench anytime soon. And just for the record, Lunin played only 12 matches this season, conceded 19 goals. Nothing spectacular, but hardly a disaster either. Pretty standard numbers for a guy who gets thrown in once a month, usually against the likes of Barcelona or City. And don't forget, in those big games, Lunin has shown he's got nerves of steel and a real safe pair of hands. Right now, Lunin's future feels like the ultimate football drama. Does he stay as Real's number 2 or become the king of Istanbul? Honestly, I think the choice is clear. Better to play every week than spend your whole career waiting for a miracle at the Bernabeu. But what do you think, guys? Should Lunin finally pack his bags for new adventures, or does he still have a shot at competing with Courtois? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk it out. Manchester City are cooking up a transfer bomb that's set to explode right in the heart of midfield. Now that it's clear the Kevin De Bruyne era at the Etihad is drawing to a close, Pep Guardiola is rolling up his sleeves and ready to splash some serious cash on a new superstar, Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen. Heard of him? If not, it's time to wake up, because this guy is the real deal, a genuine football wizard. Replacing De Bruyne is basically like trying to find a second perfect girlfriend after a breakup. Almost impossible, but hey, hope dies last. And it looks like Pep might have found that hope in Wirtz. This kid could give City another shot at top-level football. His passing, It's like he's got a laser-guided system in his eyes. His dribbling and movement open up spaces defenders can't even process. Half the time, they have no idea where to run or who to mark. The best part? He turns even the simplest plays into goal-scoring chances. You feel me? But here's the catch. A price tag the size of PSG's transfer budget. The fee has already topped 100 million euros, and Leverkusen are talking numbers closer to 150 million euros. That's almost enough to build a new stand at the Etihad. And of course, here come Bayern, like always, trying to ruin everyone else's plans in the Bundesliga. Bayern have a knack for swooping in and stealing the brightest stars from their rivals like it's their mission in life. So the Sheikhs and Pep will have to sweat it out if they want to bring Wirtz to Manchester. And just to make things spicier, Liverpool have suddenly joined the party, late to the show, but acting like they should get the best champagne straight away. Sorry guys, that's not how this works. City and Bayern have been in the trenches for a while, and you just remembered the transfer window is about to open? Come on, Arne. Did you really think it would be that easy? Oh, and real talk, if you've made it this far and you're not subscribed yet, what are you even doing? 80% of regular viewers aren't subscribed. That's just tragic. Fix that. Here's an inside scoop. Wirtz's parents aren't exactly thrilled about him leaving Germany. They'd rather he stayed close to home. But his girlfriend? She's all for a move to England. So, who do you think wins this family tug of war? The parents or the girlfriend? My money's on the girlfriend because we all know who really calls the shots when it comes to these things. We should get the big reveal next week. Leverkusen are waiting for Wirtz to make his decision. No official bids yet, but behind the scenes, it's all happening. If City pull this off and land Wirtz, it'll send a clear message. Manchester are back and ready to conquer Europe again. If not, get used to seeing another superstar lighting it up for Bayern. What do you think? Is Wirtz really De Bruyne's heir, or is 150 million euros just too much, even for a talent like him? Drop your opinions in the comments. I genuinely want to know how you see this playing out.